Hello, everyone. Hope you all are well today. Just getting everything up. Still here, just getting everything all ready and going for the live feed in just a few minutes. Um, so just hang on tight uh, while we kind of wait for some more people to kind of log on and stuff. Um, so not to worry. Log on and stuff. Um, so not to worry, we are getting things going, and so just hang tight for the next minute or two. I'm trying to just get everything all set up and get all my notes together and all that sorts, and get everything all set up. So just hang tight for the next minute or so, and we'll get going. But if you all have any initial questions, uh, just put them down in the comments, and we'll get that going as well. Uh, so, because I know that we're going to try to cover a little bit of ground today. I'm not going to go too crazy, but we're definitely going to get some good stuff going as far as the plans for this coming year, as well as talk about some of the previous year as well. So we definitely have a lot of good stuff to cover. Some things that we kind of went over this past year, in 2020. Well, last year in 2025, and so we covered a lot of ground in 2025, and we also want to kind of go over some of the things that we have planned for 2026. So you all have a treat. You all have a lot of cool stuff coming up, or that's going to be going over, that we're going to cover and stuff. So just hang tight until I can get everything all going. So, but anywho, I hope you all are having a good day and a good New Year as well. Because I know that I certainly am having a great New Year so far. Because anywho, as I said, just stay, hang tight while we wait for some more people to get on and stuff. Because I know that everyone's gonna have some questions, and you can also message me on Facebook Messenger or text me as well, for those that have questions and stuff. So you all just hang tight. And I hope you all can hear me okay as well. If you all can't hear me, just let me know. And hopefully we can get that figured out now before I get too far into this, as I know that can be a pain in the butt sometimes. But anywho, but yeah, last year was definitely a pretty good year. I know that 2025 was a lot of fun. We covered a lot of ground as far as some places that we went to, and we also covered um, some sites that we had gone to. So there's definitely some great stuff that we covered with that. So you definitely have. We also did some specialty videos in which we went to Florida, for some stuff as well, which is always nice. I know that that's kind of something that I uh, will sometimes cover is a lot of Florida history, because I know that's something that is really valuable. I think that not enough of us give credit to Florida for having a lot of history. So that's kind of one of the things with that. But as I said, we're kind of waiting a minute or two for people to kind of log on and stuff, um, and all that sorts, because I know that everyone's going to have some questions and all that sorts. Because I know that's something that oftentimes people will have. Of course. But just hang tight for another minute or two, as I'm kind of organizing myself, making sure that I have all my notes together. But anyways, with that being said, when is the cooking commencing? Yes, that's a good question. So we definitely have some cooking planned, some cooking videos that are planned. Hopefully, within the next couple weeks, we'll have some more cooking videos coming up. So that's the plan. That's the hopes, is getting that all figured out and stuff. Kind of get something going with that, because I know that's something that a lot of people enjoys, the cooking. So hopefully we'll have some. We do have some. We have some scheduled dates throughout the year. I know that I'm going to be going to the William Harris site. Hopefully within the next couple. We're going to start doing that again. Hopefully within the next couple months, and stuff. I know that's a site that Ron, Captain Ron, and myself, and a few others go to. So we definitely have that coming for us. And as well as a few other little odds and ends and stuff. So stay tuned for that. I know that we definitely have some stuff planned for that. So the William Harris site is one. I'm also hoping that we have some pending one of the. So I am going to make kind of a half-hearted announcement about something, though. But during once we kind of get everything up and going with the video as far as the cooking, but it's still not going to be a full announcement for that particular part, because I know that we haven't quite confirmed. There's some stuff that I'm confirming and all that sorts as far as the cooking. As far as some obligations and some other events I'm going to be attending, and I don't want to quite spoil it until we've kind of hashed out some of the odds and ends with it. So I don't want to misspeak, or I don't want to tell you dates now and then have to change those dates and all that sorts. So definitely stay tuned on that. So we'll be right there shortly as far as the event or cooking goes. So don't go anywhere with that. Well, I guess now is probably. I guess probably now is probably the best time to get going. And as I said, if you all have some questions, Definitely chime in. Um, no, I guess to kind of go back to the cooking part, there's always going to be cooking videos, so you don't have to worry. Um, so if you know of a historic recipe that you want to see, um, you know, you know that you kind of want to have me try out or whatever, let me know, and we can definitely do that. So that's an option as well. Just let us know, and I'll make sure to post it. And you can keep an eye throughout the year as I kind of get some of those recipes. And I have my notebook right here on my computer, my notes open, so you can. I'll make sure to write it down as we uh, go. So, but again, if you all have some questions, make sure that you all chime in and stuff. So, uh, definitely, definitely stay tuned. So, anyways, so let's get this. Let's get this party started. What do y'all say? So I kind of had my notes here and all that stuff. And as I mentioned, if you all have questions, please definitely chime in. Um, and I'll try to answer some of them that are relevant to the particular spot that I'm working on. I'm going to try to talk slow, or well, not talk slow, but I'm going to try to, as we kind of go through each section, you can definitely ask your questions and stuff. Some of them I might have to wait until the end, or until the next part to where it's relevant. So don't feel offended if I don't answer your question right away. So don't worry about that though, and I'll make sure, that I answer them. So toward the end of the video, or once I'm kind of done giving all the channel updates and year in review and channel updates and all that stuff, and all that sorts, and what's going to be happening with the next year and some other plans and sorts. You all can definitely ask questions then. I have no time limit on this video, so by all means ask away. So we can definitely do that. But anyways, with that being said, let's get going with this video. So basically, I want to start by thanking you all, each and every one of you all, for taking the time to join me live today. And for those that are not watching this live later, once it kind of uploads, I still thank you all for watching the video. And we're also, because I know that you all taking time out of your day. But anyways, this stream is our 2025 year in review, and we're also going to talk about what we have planned moving forward into 2026. So we definitely have some. I'm not going to talk about every single little detail, but we do have quite a bit planned. I'm going to start off with 2025 in review. So with that being said, 2025 was a fantastic year for this channel and the Facebook group and page. For those that know, we made a whole bunch of posts. I can't sit there and tell you how many posts or updates we've made and stuff. But we've had a lot of updates as far as the Facebook group and the page, and we've made a lot of videos for YouTube. So we had the opportunity to visit and film at a number of historic locations, including places like Cowpens Battlefield, Fort Dobbs, the Bilo Plantation, sites connected to the Battle of Alligator Bridge, locations tied to Florida's early colonial history, and updates on places like the Wendover site, because I had done a video on that particular site a number of years ago for the Wendover people. And also I had done a video on the Benson House, or otherwise known as the Grant Historical House. So I done an update on that. I usually do that on a yearly basis. So we always have like an update of some sort on that. And we also did some things as well as other timeline topics involving World War One, World War Two, Vietnam, and other wars and events, and topics throughout American history. So we've also done some stuff on Guilford Courthouse as well. A whole timeline of things. We also covered a wide range of weaponry and technology, from muskets, rifles, cannons, all the way through modern firearms, spanning a timeline from the 1500s through the mid 1900s. So we covered a lot as far as the firearms, muskets, rifles, cannons and stuff, and also wars and battles. We also expanded into traditional skills and crafts, including blacksmithing, pottery, and other hands-on demonstrations that help tell the story of how people lived, worked, and fought throughout American history. Um, Florida history was another major focus this year, and we were able to explore several important stories tied to that region, from early colonial conflicts to the plantation era sites and beyond. So we covered quite a bit of Florida history. Um, and as I said, we also covered a lot of World War II events, World War One events, and some Revolutionary War events, 1812 war events, and just several other events and stuff. So things like that. We watched some blacksmithing, as I mentioned before. Some gunsmithing as well. So we had all kinds of videos on that, which is always fun and nice to do, because I know that some of you all always enjoy some of that stuff. Um, so we have a lot of those videos that we've made this past year, and you all can check them out at your all's own leisure. Or if you all have any specific ones that you want to see, by all means, reach out, and I'll try to pull them up. Even if it's not from this past year, it could be from previous years that we have. I know that we've done some pottery this past year, actually, very briefly. Um, but also, we just covered all kinds of different events this past year. So I guess kind of as we're kind of transitioning somewhat into 2026, I guess some timeline clarification. Now as we move forward into 2026, our plans are actually pretty exciting, but there's a piece of information that I feel that's actually worth sharing, um, that may be just as important as the information itself. Um, while the name and the game remain exactly the same, I do want to be clear that our living history, across YouTube, Facebook, and our other platforms, um, is built around a broad historical timeline. So we cover everything that's American history related. So as I mentioned, that's a pretty wide range of things like World War II events, or even World War One. The cold some We haven't quite done too much Cold War stuff, but we have some things that are kind of indirectly related to that. And we also have things that are like Vietnam War era as well, as well as some Spanish history as well. We do have uh, things that are Spanish related. Um, we've done some Civil War related stuff as well. So this isn't just a one time period type of channel. We cover a timeline of things, ranging from like the 1500s, um, all up to the 1900s. So we don't focus on just one era. Um, Our content, pretty much, as I mentioned, pretty much spans from the first Spanish landing at St. Augustine in the 1500s all the way through the late 1900s. Um, Sometimes people assume that we actually cover only Revolutionary War or the 18th century history, but in reality, the channel is actually about showing how American history connects across the centuries. So we cover quite a bit of history, as you all know. Um, so nothing has changed in that regard, and nothing is going to change. Everything is going to stay the same. So we've always been this way, and we will continue to be this way. I know I know a few years ago, some people mentioned to me, oh, well, why don't you just pick one timeline, because you can make a whole bunch of videos on just one particular timeline. Well, yeah, I could, but I find that things are more enjoyable, and it kind of just mixes things up a little bit, when you have the ability to, um, you know, do a timeline of things. Um, so I guess with that being said, if anyone has any questions on that, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to answer them now, or or kind of when we get to a place ahead. Um, Now, looking ahead into 2026, this is where we're really making a go into it. We plan to continue many of our regular stops and traditions. We'll be returning to Cowpens Battlefield, possibly Guilford Courthouse and the William Harris Homestead. We also plan to do a reenactment style video on Braddock's defeat, which is an F&I. Oh, and we do cover F&I, French and Indian War type stuff as well. So we'll be doing a reenactment style video on Braddock's defeat while attending the American Heritage Festival in Lake City, South Carolina. So that's going to be a pretty fun video. We'll possibly have a George Washington, a young George Washington at that particular event. Last I heard, Ryan Williams was going to be doing that. From what I've heard, I think that's the plan. So that's going to be pretty cool. Then we'll be creating so all the videos from last year. We'll be creating a more in-depth, informative videos, or we'll be doing more creating as far as more in-depth and informative videos on muskets, rifles, cannons, and a wide assortment of firearms ranging from the 1500s to the 1900s, as well as other things, other topics that we've covered, like battlefield tours or and other things, kind of like what we've done last year, but we're going to be going more in depth. Like we're going to be doing more in-depth videos on blacksmithing, as well as gunsmithing. So the goal for this coming year is to kind of go in more depth. And like last year and in previous years, we've been doing kind of like surface topics, so like surface coverage of each of those topics. But in the coming year, we're going to be doing a more in-depth kind of thing. So kind of getting into the nitty-gritty stuff of each of those topics, so like blacksmithing, gunsmithing, cooking, pottery, whatever, everything American history related. We're going to kind of be going a little bit more in depth into it. So we'll also be expanding our battlefield tours, informative videos on a range of historical topics like blacksmithing, pottery, and other craft-focused videos, with plans to dive deeper into these topics. Interviews are another area we're looking to grow, and we're excited about the opportunities that may bring. So keep that in mind. So if you're someone that's familiar with any particular topic of American history, um, or any kind of trade or craft, make sure that you let me know, or if you're like an interpreter or a site director or whatever the case may be at a particular site, or you might be some sort of tradesman at one of these sites, let me know. And especially if you would like to do an interview or a demonstration, I'd love to get you on board and include you in one of my videos. So make sure that you uh, hit me up, let me know, message me. You can also join the private Facebook group, but I'll have more information on that coming up. Um, so as I said, interviews are another area we're looking to grow, and we're excited to see what opportunities that may bring. Also, there is a possible new project that I mentioned earlier, a possible new project currently in the works. It's not finalized yet, so I can't say much. But if everything goes well, you'll be hearing about it within the next couple weeks from today, which is January 3rd of 2026. So within the next couple weeks, hopefully everything will get finalized with that, and I'll have more information about that as well. Um, so if everything goes well, you'll hear about it. If not, I'm sorry, you won't. But my plan is to make some more news public in the coming weeks as far as some great opportunities as well. So we're going to go from there. So as the year goes on, we'll continue covering World War One, World War Two, Vietnam War, the War of 1812, the American Revolution, uh, and the Civil War, the French and Indian War, and many other historical topics and timelines that fit within our broader timeline. Um, so if anyone has any questions, let me know. Or you can always, as I mentioned, we'll have some more as far as how to do that. If you join my the private group, the Our Living History private group, where you have to join, that would be the best place to go to be able to get in contact with me. My name is William Young, so if you join that group, you'll be able to get in touch with me as far as what we can do as far as demonstrations and whatnot, or planning videos, or if you all have any input as to what videos you'd like to see. So make sure that you join the Our Living History private group. You can also reach out on the page, but that's not as efficient. It's kind of like a page that we use for photos and reels and stuff. We do use it, and we do use it a lot. But as far as getting in touch with me, the best way to do that is by joining the private group called Our Living History. Um, the next part, even though I have a plan laid out for 2026, I do want your input. If there are videos you'd like to see, topics you think deserve coverage, or locations you'd like us to visit, I actually really want to hear from you. And if you're someone who has knowledge on American history, on an American history topic, or anything like in that regard, whether through reenacting, research, demonstrations, or access to a historic site, I'd love to be able to talk to you about working together on a video if you're willing. And there's definitely several options in how we can do that. I know that some people are not comfortable with being on video, and there's options as to how we can work around that. Like we can simply keep you off the actual camera itself, but still use your voice. Um, you know, or if you were to, or whatever, we can keep your physical face or body off the camera, but still use your voice, or we can just, um, or if it's simply just not saying a word, like if you're demonstrating something. I know that there's this one guy who I always do videos of. He loves to be in my videos, but he doesn't feel comfortable talking, so he just simply just demonstrates. Um, so that's kind of how we do that. Um, you know, or as I mentioned, some people feel comfortable being on video, but they don't feel comfortable talking, or they feel comfortable talking but just not being physically in the video. However that works. So if you don't want to talk on the video, that's fine. Um, or whatever, we can definitely work away or work around it. There's possibilities, so don't feel like just because you want to be in a video doesn't mean you have to talk. Or just because you physically don't want to be seen, we can still use your voice, but we don't have to have you on camera. So there's definitely different options with that. Um, so, uh, as I said, I mean, if you whether through reenacting, research, demonstrations, or access to the historic site, I'd love to be able to talk to you about working together on a video. Also, we are also open to sponsorships pending the terms and considerations of what's being discussed with that. I know that I've previously had a few sponsorships and stuff and all that sorts through coffee and as far as some clothing and all that sorts. So there's been a few options with that. So there's been a few sponsorships as well that I previously had and all that sorts, and we were able to work some stuff out. Personally, I mean, it's not something that I'm pushing to do, but I would, but if you have a sponsorship idea, or if you would like to sponsor me, by all means, I'm not going to say no. I'm definitely up for it, but of course, pending the terms and the considerations of what it is, and all that sorts, because I don't want to just say yes to everything. I want to know what I'm getting into, and I kind of want to know the details of what you're wanting in exchange and all that stuff. So there's a lot of details that we need to discuss. And but I do want to make it as easy as possible too. Now, with that being said, we do have some specialty videos, as what I like to call them. So, lastly, we'll be working on. As of now, we have 2 specialty videos for the coming year, with the possibility of adding more if the opportunity presents itself. So in 2025, we completed specialty videos on the Battle of Alligator Bridge, the Bilo Plantation, and updates on the Wendover people and the Grant Historical House, otherwise known as the Benson House. So we were not able to complete the video we promised on the Castillo de San Marcos National Monument fort due to unforeseen circumstances. But that project, the good news is that project has been moved to later this year in 2026. So that is something that we are going to that we still do have on the docket. We just were not able to get to it last year. Some unforeseen circumstances came up that prevented us from doing it when we wanted to. But as I said, the good news is we still plan on doing it. So we are going to cover the Castillo de San Marcos National Monument Fort. So we're going to be doing that later this year. The second specialty video we will be focusing on is the Cross Florida Barge Canal. This project was a mid-20th century attempt to create a canal across Florida, eventually halted after environmental concerns and legal challenges leading to preservation of a large portion of the land as protected corridors and parks today. Um, Now, there is a lot to that topic. Well, not a lot, but there is some interesting things about that topic. Is um, I'm sorry, Gulf of America. Um, Whatever, Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Keep me out of this. um, but anyways, some interesting things about that topic is especially early on in Florida's history, or I should say earlier on. I shouldn't say earliest, but I should say early on, or earlier on in Florida's history. It was something that was considered. So they were technically considering this I think in the 19th century as well. I've just started kind of fact finding on this topic for the Cross Florida Barge Canal topic. So that's a topic that I've just started kind of fact finding on. And some interesting information is that we there was some evidence or some proof or some discussion earlier on in Florida's history that suggests that that was something that they were considering even in the 1800s. A pretty big task even then. Even now would be a big task to kind of do something like that. I know there's canals that kind of go across, the state of Florida, but it's kind of like a bunch of canals going this way, going that way. I don't know. It's all confusing. There are technical canals, but nothing directly across the state of Florida. But anyways, that's going to be a video that we're going to be covering later this year in 2026. So that's going to be pretty nice. So that's pretty much that. So if there's other videos that you'd like me to cover, specialty videos like that I had mentioned, please let me know. And I'd be more than happy to discuss further. Although I will admit that I have limitations. Me being based in the greater Charlotte or the greater North Carolina area, Charlotte area, a little bit of Columbia, South Carolina, in stuff area. In some cases I am limited as to what I can do. Or as how far I can travel. For me to travel to do a video on the Golden Gate Bridge in California for a what 10-15 minute video would be a little hard for me to do, but that doesn't mean that I can't do it. I just like to do videos on site for a lot of things, as much as possible. There's been times that I've been able to get around it, but I prefer to be able to do videos on site because it just adds value to the actual topic in the video itself. So make sure that you consider that, and all that sorts. But please, regardless, no matter what, please at least suggest it nonetheless. Because I know that it's kind of one of those things. So we definitely want to be able to do what we can. We want to make an honest attempt to follow it or do a video on it. So let us know. So before we wrap up with this particular section of the video, I want to remind everyone that we have a private Facebook group. And it's open to everyone that is wanting to learn history and wanting to learn more or offer more to others. Um, it's a private group, but by all means, you're more than welcome to join it. You can join the group to submit questions, suggest topics, reach out for collaborations, or just connect with others who enjoy American history. I've actually included the link in the video description below. So check that out. I truly appreciate all of you all for supporting Our Living History. And thank you for being part of this journey. I know that it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of hard to really, you know, like some stuff though, but it's still pretty fun nonetheless. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and also my videos before you log off. Um, but anyways, now I'm going to stay on here for a little bit longer to read comments and answer any questions you might have, and to also tell you all a little bit more about some more of what we are planning as well, kind of as a kind of just like a rambling conversation like I do with some stuff. Um, but we're going to stay in here for a little bit more and read comments and answer any questions you might have, and to also tell you all a little bit more about some of what we are planning as well, and as talk, and also to talk more about Florida history or American history as well. But for those wanting to use this time to close out of the video and get on with your day, by all means, go for it. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon. But for those that want to stick around, please do. We definitely love and appreciate you here. We would love anyone that wants to stay to do so. For those that are not able to stay longer, we thank you. And hate to see you go. But anyways, now for those that want to stick around, we can stay on here for as long as you want. It's 3:28 p.m. here, here in North Carolina. It's 3:28. But if you all want to keep talking or asking questions until 6 p.m., I'm more than happy to do so. As long as they're, don't ask me what the thread count of a blanket is. I wouldn't know, but by all means, ask it if you want to, though. But I'll answer it if I can, but I don't know the answer. But so if you all have any questions, let me know. I'll do what I can to answer them. So with that being said, that pretty much finalizes that part. Anywho, so with that being said, does anyone have any questions on the videos that we covered in 2025? If you do, please let us know. I know that we had a lot of great videos that we had planned and stuff. So I know that it's kind of one of those things, but now if you will have questions as far as what videos we are going to cover or what we can cover, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to answer them and do what we can. So that being said, so as I mentioned before, we were not able to go to the Castillo, the fort in Florida, in St. Augustine area, unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances and stuff. It was just hard to really do so. We had some situations come up that prevented us from going. Nothing bad, but just time constraints, and as well as other things that prevented us from doing so. So we kind of hope to be able to do that this year, because I know that's a very, very popular topic, going to the Castillo, as that is a really cool fort and stuff. I know some people that have been there and done that. They all they say are great things about it, um, and they're always bragging about how nice and fun it is and stuff, and said, "Oh yeah, you should go to the Castillo. It's a great fort. There's so much to do there and all kinds of fun." And it's like, okay, well, I'll see what I can do and pull off, and um, it's like even I want to go and have some fun and hang out and see what there is to do. Um, so, but because I know that during the week, from what I've heard, as from all my sources, as well as some of the rangers that I've talked to and all that sorts, they say that the best time to go is on the weekends, because they do some firing demonstrations as far as like cannons and muskets and stuff. So that's always a pretty fun time to go and stuff. So make sure that if you ever go by the Castillo, make sure that you go during the weekends, because on the weekends is when they have all the firing demonstrations and stuff. During the week, it's a little bit more droll. From what they say, you can still access everything that you would normally do on the weekends, but the only difference is just the firing demonstrations. Um, so make sure that you just consider that when you all plan your visit there, because I know that's something that a lot of people enjoy. So keep that in mind. Now I know that another site that I've gotten some questions on is when I went to the um, what is it, the the Kissimmee Island Cattle Company. It's spelled Kiko, or the word is, or the abbreviation for it is Kiko, but it's pronounced, well, it's spelled that way, but how you're supposed to pronounce it is Kisso. As interesting as it sounds. So it's kind of one of those things. Um, I know that I got several questions about that, as to like how I was able to get access and stuff. And to be honest with you, I mean, getting access really wasn't that hard. It was just a little bit of legwork, because of the fact that in order for me to go there, I had to uh, do certain, conduct certain milestones and stuff. Like I had to contact the uh, water department, or the water, or the natural water department and stuff. Uh, the Army, or like, it's like the equivalent of the Army Corps of Engineering, but for the water department, and all that sorts. Though, like the flow of water in Florida. So I had to contact or the equivalent to that, which was actually not that bad. And everything about it was free. Actually, surprisingly, it was all free. Well, not even surprising, but but everything about it was free, except for the fact that you had to pay for gas to get it, or to, for your car, and like bring lunch, and that was like your only expense. Um, so because you got a free day pass. Yep, to be able to. Yes, yes, vote Huss. Yes, the actual site in in Florida was free. As crazy as it sounds, so it's even something that I would be willing to go to. If it's free, it's me, as I like to say. um, so that was what was so nice about it. Um, so you just had to get like a day pass, and you also had to. Oh, and for those that are on here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Um, if you can. We have all kinds of great stuff planned this coming year, and we want to make sure that you're able to uh, get notification of that. So don't forget. But anyways, but yeah, pretty much all that was required was that you had to get like a day pass, just so they know that you're there. Um, and once you get that day pass, they'll send you the combination for the gate, the access gate, because there's like an actual like combination lock that you had to, enter in. It's like, oh gosh, okay, what's the combination? 59734. Just some random numbers, and it's like, okay, great, no problem. So, but it was well worth it. Now, I know that I had mentioned in previous videos. Um, what state am I currently in? I'm actually in North Carolina. But I do a number of, but I visit a number of areas like North and South Carolina. I do events in Georgia. I've even gone as far as Virginia, West Virginia. I've done some events in Florida. Um, but anywho, what's so nice about this Kisso site? Well, what's so interesting about it? I wouldn't say nice, but it's interesting. Is I would definitely suggest that you don't go there in your Prius. And I've gotten in trouble for saying that, but I'm going to continue saying it because I don't want you to drive your I don't want you to drive your Prius into a hole or down a dirt road or a sand road and get stuck, because it is sand and you will get stuck. So you might want to drive a vehicle that would be better suited for that. Yeah, so how far did into Virginia did I go? Yes. I went to Ewing, Virginia for an event at the Wilderness Road State Park for Martin Station. And by the way, that's a fantastic event. So that was one actually, and by the way, that's actually one of my more favorite of that's that's actually one of my favorite that's actually one of my favorite sites to go to. And the reasoning behind me having that be one of my favorite sites to go to is because of the historical accuracy. You know, they it's all their events are juried, and I hate talking like this, but their events are juried, and you don't get you know you don't get the inaccurate stuff like some sites and stuff like you normally go to with some stuff. They're really particular, and it's great. It's always a great experience, which has been great. So they really care about historical accuracy, and they don't just let anyone, they don't let. So in other words, they don't let Renaissance Festival stuff go on. Thankfully, sorry, not sorry. So they don't let Renaissance Festival stuff go on. Um, you know, so if you ever want to go to a good site, um, pick Martin Station, especially for their events and stuff. Um, but so definitely check it out. Um, Now, there's other sites that are like that are also juried and stuff. So make sure that you um, check those sites out as well. Um, you know, um, so definitely keep that in mind. Um, yep, to each of their own. And as I said, I mean, I'm not trying to knock people who have beards and whatever. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I mean, by all means, I mean, you can have this or that, but I personally prefer juried events and stuff, or events to where that tend to be more on the you know what I mean. I just don't like all the. I mean, yeah, I do it for fun, and I like to go to these sites for fun. That's why we're in the hobby, right? We're in the hobby for fun. That's exactly why. Um, I mean, I love going to these events. I just tend to like events in which, um, you know, that are with more like-minded people, such as myself, um, that sorts. Now, you may have events that you like to go to, so you're certainly right. Still ear, assuming that I'm pronouncing the name right. Um, Now, as I said, I mean, to each their own. You're more than welcome to go whatever events you want, which is what's so nice about reenacting. Um, there's events and sites for you. Um, it's so it's one of those things. You know, so just keep that in mind. Um, I always make it to be good practice to um, research a lot as to yeah, Mr. Huss. Yeah, you know what I mean. Um, but anyways, I always try to make sure that I research the event, especially within the past couple years. I've noticed myself, um, like I used to not care about certain things, but as I've kind of been in the hobby longer and longer, I've started to kind of see myself drifting in a particular direction. And that's not to take away from people who liked the Renaissance festival type stuff or whatever the case may be. I personally just like to go to juried events in which they're particular about standards and stuff and historical accuracy. Not saying your kid isn't accurate or whoever may be. I just prefer things that are kind of juried and all that stuff. Um, with certain standards and stuff. Um, and that's okay. Everyone's entitled to to each their own, as they say. Um, so, anywho, now, one thing. Yeah, you're welcome, Mr. Huss. Vote Huss. He says, "Thanks for telling us about the cool unknown events." Yeah, you're welcome, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Vote Huss. Um, I have a feeling I know who you are. uh, um, I'm just getting notifications from some messages. Mr. James sent a cool message. Why Scottish regiments were the most feared. Um, Thanks for sending. See, that's the good thing though, is that I've built up such a great base of wonderful people who I sincerely love talking with. Because they're just like-minded people. They just enjoy the same thing that I do, which is what's so nice about it. And we're always messaging throughout the day or at night. Um, and uh, they just they just like the finer things in life, I guess. Um, but anywho, with that being said, um, so I guess some more things that I guess as far as Florida goes, I know there's a um, for the past couple of years, for those that have noticed, everyone's kind of and for those that are still on here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate all that you do for us here at Our Living History, and we want to make sure that you get notifications of our videos that come out. So make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And hey, James, nice to see you. Hey, brother, nice to see you again. I know it's always nice to hear from you. It's always nice to talk to you. James, now, still ear. What's the earliest time period that I have reenacted? Technically speaking, the earliest time period that I've reenacted was the French and Indian War. Although my kit was not technically um, up to spec, but it kind of was. It was kind of a last minute thing, so I wasn't out in a full kit, but I did have some stuff that was accurate that I was wearing, but it wasn't quite um, a full kit. So like I was kind of like improperly dressed. Well, not improperly dressed up, but it would have been like the equivalent of me walking outside with just a tank top and a pair of workout shorts, which is not a complete outfit for that time. So I guess the earliest that I've reenacted was the French and Indian War. Um, as far as reenactments, now as far as video goes, I've done videos on things from like the 1500s. Um, Actually, I take that back. I did a video on the Windover people, which is upwards of 8,000 years old. So I've done videos on that. Um, as far as videos go, I've done a video about like 8,000 years ago, or on a topic that's 8,000 years old, a topic that's 8,000 years old, with that being the Windover people. So check out those videos. I did the update on the Windover people um, over Thanksgiving. So if you just scroll down through the YouTube videos that I've made in the past couple months, like month or like 2 3 months, you'll be able to find it. Um, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely history is definitely our thing. Um, and I really, really enjoy it. It's something that I enjoy doing myself too. Um, so still here, make sure that you go through some of my older videos, like within the past couple months, and you'll be able to see the Windover people, the videos on that. And so over Thanksgiving, I did a small overview, maybe like a 5 or 6 minute video or something like that. Um, but then there's a link for a video that I did a number of years ago. Um, in the video description. So you'll have to go to the video description of that overview of the Windover people that I did over Thanksgiving. And so you'll have to go to the video description of that video in order to access the video that I had made a number of years ago. And what's so interesting about that video that I made a number of years ago is that I got a private tour of the Brevard Museum of History and Natural Science for their exhibit on the topic. So I was able to do a private tour with one of the curators there, or for one of the employees there. So it was really fun and informative and great to be able to have experienced. Um, you know, and then of course after I posted that video, my intention was to do a follow-up video that same Thanksgiving a number of years ago and go to the actual site itself and do my own video on on the site itself. But as they say, I didn't get around to it, and things just got kind of snowballed for a few years. I just wasn't able to get around to it. So I was only able to get around to it this past year. Um, so what is the most recent period in time that you have reenacted? That's a good question. Some World War II and Vietnam War is the most recent that I was able to reenact. So it's been a lot of fun with that. So I've done as recent as the Vietnam War and World War II. So I am kind of in talks with a few World War II units as far as cooking for them. I am in talks as well with them. So if you're someone that's in charge of a World War II unit and you want me to cook for you, by all means, let me know. I'll be more than happy to cook for you for your unit and stuff. Um, but just know that we'll have to talk first before we, set any of that up. So I'll be more than happy to do so. So just let me know. But yes, World War II is the most recent in which I have uh, reenacted. Um, so you all keep that in mind. Um, so, um, with that being said, if you all have any more questions, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Um, now, another thing is, have I tried reenacting 2025? Yes, as a matter of fact, I reenact that on a regular basis. Actually, as a matter of fact, Mr. Vote Huss. Um, I guess how that plays out is more of a wailing and crying effect as to like, oh gosh darn it, do I have to deal with this today? Um, Soon we'll be doing 2026 reenacting. If you think about it, just to wait. I'm waiting for that to happen. Um, Especially with the events that have happened today, or in previous days. I saw a shark. There was a Yeah, yeah. I know this is all. I'm trying not to get politics involved in any of this because I always hate politics, though. But I'm just waiting for the 2020. I'm just waiting for 2026 to be over. Um, uh, yeah. Some just call that year Monday. Yeah, yeah. I'm just waiting for 2026 to be over, and then we'll be able to start reenacting 2026. Um, Especially early 2026, and just say, "Oh gosh, here we go." I've already got the fat persona, so we already know where that's gonna go. But it's like, "Oh, listen here," you know. Um, but yeah, we just call that Monday though. So, with that being said, you know, no, I am not registered as a communist, and I was not referring to that, sir. I was not. I was not referring to that, sir. But oh gosh, I'm a I'm a registered. I mind my business. I'm a registered. I mind my business, and I be left alone. um. Congratulations. How long have you been the mascot spokesperson for the Brawny paper towel brand? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Huss, you already know I'm going to be talking to you later. I have I have not been the mascot for, oh gosh. Oh, dude, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Oh gosh. Anthony, you know better than to say that. Um, I would just answer it. I've recently been the mascot and spokesperson for them, so I mean we'll be able to reenact the spokesman award for that or whatever you want to call it. Um, I guess for 2026 version. As a matter of fact, they did give me free product actually. Uh, so yeah, so that's always a good little perk of being the mascot for for Brawny or Downey or whatever it is. Can't help you with that, Anthony. Sorry, unfortunately. Wish I could, but you'll have to figure that out on your own. Um, but in other news, uh, but in other news, as far as some more videos that we were planning on doing in Florida, I guess this is kind of looking ahead over the next couple years. again, it's kind of one of those things as far as more videos. As far as me doing more videos in Florida, um, I do have some things are kind of going at a pace in which, um, at which I'm not sure where it's gonna go, but um, there may be even more videos, like more than what I'm posting now, as far as videos go for Florida. So, in the next coming years, because what you've been getting is about 2 to 4 videos based in Florida every year, but you may be getting more of that in the coming years, because occasionally I'll do cooking demonstrations down there. Under the off the record, I will, or I do some cooking videos and other videos, some reenactments down there off the record. So it's not something that I do a lot of, but I do some reenacting and some cooking down there. Um, so keep that in mind. Um, but outside of that, I do videos for that as well. But or I just haven't been able to post those videos quite yet because a lot of those events I'm just so tied up with what I'm doing that it's kind of hard to record because I'm the only one down there. So it's kind of hard to really do some of the videos that I wanted to down there, as far as the cooking or whatever, because there's a lot of Seminole War or Spanish history and British history down there that it's kind of hard to do some videos down there, especially with me going down there sometimes by myself or whatever the case may be. The circumstances don't allow me to video, so that's kind of hard to do. Anthony, Mr. Huss said, "What, when, and what is your next event?" So I have some events. One of my events is coming up. Well, my big one of my big events is coming up in February, but I do have some little odds and ends coming up in January or this month. But it's nothing too crazy. I plan on attending, well, more so spectating. I plan on spectating as of now. Uh, Cowpens. I plan on only spectating that event, but there may be a chance that I decide to. Well, there may be a chance that I might dress out for that one, depending on the situation in the coming weeks, um, and all that sort. So we'll find out. But my next really big event is for the American Heritage Festival. Where we'll be doing some F&I, the French and Indian War reenacting and stuff. Um, so we'll be doing a lot of that in February. But from there, I mean, it just kind of just played by ear. Y'all will generally know like a week or two in advance of the event itself. So keep that in mind. Um, like if you're looking for like a specific, like I mean, if you're like really wanting to know, reach out, and I'll certainly let you all know. Because I know that there's some personal reasons as to why you want to know, and I'd be more than happy to tell you. Um, but as they say, as kind of things kind of get going, I'll be able to post more about that. Um, Cow pens. What about chicken coops? Um, as far as chicken coops, I'm not going to that battle. You might be going to that battle, Huss. But I personally am not. So if you go to that one, let me know how it goes, and keep me updated. And we'll go from there. Uh, just let me know how it goes, and we'll. Anthony, when am I going to start selling merchandise for your channel or for my channel? You're not the first person to ask that. Anthony, or Mr. Huss, I'm sorry. Let's talk later you give me a call, Mr. Huss, and we'll discuss that further. Um, we'll get something going with that. If you were looking for some merchandise, um, just call me later, or call me at your earliest convenience. We should be up pretty late tonight, so just let me know. Just give me a text before you call. Um, and I'll make sure that I uh, get that going and stuff. Because I've thought about it, and you're not the first person to ask. And I want to be able to. So here's an open question. If you all are looking for merchandise, or if you all think that I should start doing merchandise and stuff, you let me know. Yeah, the chicken coop battles are definitely underrepresented. Uh, but yes. So if you all are looking for some merchandise, definitely let me know. Um, Hit me up individually, like in private, or join the Our Living History private group. The link should be below in the live video's description, and you'll be able to get a link to that private group, and we can discuss that further. So just let me know. Will I be selling large plaid onesies? Anthony, okay, yes. If you want me to sell, if you want me to make a onesie for you, I'll see what I can find for you, and I'll let you be the designer of that one. So we'll get that one going. So if you're wanting a onesie, you let me know. Um, but in all seriousness, though, if you all want some merchandise, let me know. Uh, just kind of hit me up, and just leave a comment, or just leave a comment in this video, and we'll see about setting up setting up some merchandise and stuff, and we'll get that going for those that are serious about it. If you're not, don't mention it, and we'll because it kind of gets in the way of those that are actually serious about merchandise. Um, yeah, I know. Yeah, Jeff Yeager. I know. I just can't either. Um, my buddy Mr. Huss here is, yeah, he's a great friend of mine. He's great. He's funny. Um, so it's definitely a topic that we've thought about is merchandise. Um, so if you all are serious about wanting to buy some merchandise, just leave a comment in this video, or reach out to me, or join the Our Living History private group, and we'll see about some merchandise. And for those that are just coming on here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Um, and stuff, though, because it's an easy way to kind of keep track of the videos and stuff that I upload on a regular basis. So don't forget to do that, because I know that's definitely one way to do it. So with that being said, now if you all have some input as far as what you'd like to see, as far as some videos that you'd like to see, I know that's a loaded question, Anthony. Don't go there, Anthony. I already know where you're going, Anthony, and I don't want you to comment on this, Anthony. I already know where you're going with this. I know you're going to start coming up with some video ideas, and oh gosh, why did I even go down that route? Yeah, so Mr. Jeff, got to start with the flasks. Yes. That would be a great idea, and I think that if we were to do a combined effort, I think that'd be pretty cool. Is like start up a little souvenir store where we get like a hot iron, and actually like put a stamp on the side of the canteens or flasks, like the wooden flasks or canteens or whatever. We'll have to do some branding ideas with that, to where we, to where it would be, fair for you or whatever, and stuff, and to where we could get like an Our Living History uh, uh, hot stamp for the side, like a coal, kind of like getting a hot iron and putting it on the side and stuff, though, for canteens or something, though. Kind of, I know that it wouldn't be accurate, but with that, but it would, as far as like the name goes, but it would be pretty interesting, though. Kind of do some like branding with that or whatever. Um, so that'd be pretty cool. Or flasks. I mean, however we would do that. That'd be pretty fascinating to do. Um, but with that being said, um, I guess. I mean, but as I said, I mean, if you all are looking for some merchandise, definitely let me know. As far as like what you're looking for, what you're wanting, or what ideas you have. Um, vote Huss. Will I? Will we be branding people? Good grief. Good grief. Yeah. I just know that Mr. Jeff here just messaged me some photos of some flasks and stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, a laser engraver. Now that would be pretty cool. We could definitely figure something out with the laser engraver as far as the flasks and stuff, and um, I mean, of course, you'd be getting. I would only do it under the condition that you get 99% of the money that, or like the net, like the net income, or the whole gross or whatever and stuff, or the whole cost. I mean, and I only get like, um, I would just want like $3-4 off the top, and all that sorts, just because, since you would be doing the labor work and you would be doing the engraving, and it's only fair that you get 99% of the money made off of the canteen, and I would just want like $2 to $4. I mean, that'd be the only way that I would do it, because I want to be fair to you, Jeff. Um, and by the way, Jeff here does a great job. He does the Artificer. Am I right? The Artificer. If I'm pronouncing it right. Um, he does the canteens and stuff, and does a fantastic canteen for for American history. Like, it's like multiple, like he does canteens for multiple timelines. He does a fantastic job. So if you look up on Facebook, I think it's like he only looked it up on Facebook here. ART. Um, um, ARTF. I know that it's on here somewhere. I know that there's some great. He does some great canteens. Um, so you'll have to make sure that you go over to his Facebook page, and look up his canteens and stuff, because they're pretty darn great. It's like the Artificer or something or whatever. So you'll have to make sure. Let me see. I'm trying to find it. Because he definitely makes some great canteens. Yes, yeah, yep, the Artificer, yeah. So make sure that you go into the comments here, go into the chat area and look up the Artificer or Ficer. He makes some darn good canteens and stuff. So make sure that you look that up. And I'm also going to put that link in the description for the video. So check out below. Once this video is over, I'm going to put the link for the Artificer. I think that I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry if I'm not, Jeff. My apologies if I'm not. But I'll make sure that I put the link for his Facebook page in this video's description as well, because I want to make sure that he gets the attention that he deserves, because he does a darn good job and makes a darn good canteen. Sorry if I'm setting you up for more business, Jeff, but I figure why not. I had the great privilege of doing some demonstrations with him. Tomato, yeah. But I had the privilege of doing a demonstration with him at the the Battle of Camden in November, and it was a lot of fun. Learned a lot, actually. As crazy as it sounds, I learned a lot. I wasn't sure what to expect because I was like, I don't know. I'm walking into some unknown territory, and what am I going to be able to get out of this, or what am I going to be able to do? And I was actually surprised. It was a lot of fun. I got a lot out of it. I knew it was going to be fun, but I wasn't sure what to expect. So it was like, oh, great, and it's just the camaraderie and stuff. And we had a lot of fun Friday night and stuff, and all that sorts, and throughout the day on Saturday, and a little bit of fun on Saturday night for when I was there, and all that sorts for the time that I was there. But anywho, that was that deal. So with that being said, for those that are logging on now, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well, to keep up to date on all the videos that we'll be posting, because it definitely makes it a lot easier to keep up to date with them. So that's the good thing about it. Anyways, with that being said, are there any more questions or anything else that you want me to cover while we're here? I know that the first part of the video was kind of, like down to business and stuff. What we're doing now is just talking shop right now. Kind of just talking and staying on here as long as you all feel like talking and stuff. I have no obligations whatsoever for the rest of the day, thankfully. So that's great for me. No trouble causing or any of that stuff. But anywho, so that being said, as I mentioned, if you all have any merchandise ideas, or if you all are wanting some merchandise, let me know. On a serious note, though, because I've actually considered it. I just didn't really. It was like, well, I don't know who's gonna buy anything. I just wasn't sure. It's like, well, we'll see. So I kind of just left it as is and just said whatever. Oh my gosh, Huss. Mr. Huss, we're gonna have to get you. Okay, Mr. Huss, look, I'm gonna regret asking this. What questions do you have, Mr. Huss? Mr. Vote Huss? What questions do you have? I know I'm gonna regret asking, but I'm gonna ask anyways. What questions do you have, sir? I would love to see that are history related, that are related to this channel, and related to history, American history at that, or anything that we've covered so far. What questions do you have? I'd be more than happy to answer those questions and go from there. So, but anyways, so there's also some historic sites um, in the general vicinity, like in North and South Carolina, and some in Georgia and Virginia that I've wanted to go to. Um, so if you're someone that is a site manager or a uh, interpreter somewhere, and you have that connection, um, or you're someone that's able to do um, a demonstration or a battlefield tour or any kind of site tour or tour of a historically significant area, let me know. I'd be more than happy to, or I'd be honored, and it'd be a privilege to do so. Um, um, well, that's really puts the kibosh in my questions. I'm sorry, Mr. Huss. I'm sorry. Um, I guess you can always reach out to me later, Mr. Huss, if you have questions that are outside of what I was specifying. Um, if you have questions that are outside of. Still waiting for the documentary on the Gnome Wars, though. Yes, Mr. Huss. We're going to be doing some videos on the Gnome Wars. Yes, we're going to be. Anthony, yes, we'll be addressing the Gnome Wars at some point. That's going to be for a different day, a different channel. But we're gonna get that. We're gonna get that going. um, yeah, we'll get some gnome wars videos done and stuff, and documentary done on that. That'll be a lot of fun. Um, so, but as I said, I mean, if you're someone that is a site manager or an interpreter, or if you work at a museum or a historic site of some sort, I'd be privileged if you'd be willing to give a tour of the site, or give us, whatever information you're willing to give us, or do any kind of video, or like a, even if you're like a craftsman or a craftswoman, um, I'd be more than happy to do a video with you or of you or whatever and stuff, doing what you do best, as far as if it's like a trade, or if it's like a battlefield tour or a site tour. We're always up for that, or even just like a museum tour. I mean, we're always up for doing videos on that. Um, I mean, I value just about any kind of. I value any kind of thing related to that, because I know that it's something that's important to me. What's important to me is being able to share the accurate history and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to do. Um, is sharing accurate history and um, all the great things that there is to share about history. So if you're someone that has that connection, please let me know. I would love to be able to get involved, or have you get involved with my channel and me get involved with you as far as making a video and stuff. That'd be a lot of fun. So let me know. We can definitely go from there. So reach out to me. Just go into the video description of this video down below and go into the find the link for the private video, or for the private Facebook group called Our Living History. Click the link and join the group, and that would be a lot easier. That would be the easiest way to get in touch with me. Or just leave a comment below with your email, and we can work something out with that, and we'll go from there. Because as I said, I'd be more than happy to do so, and I'm all about sharing history and stuff. So let me know. Um, but anyways, with that being said, if anyone has any more relevant questions, let me know. Would be more than happy to uh, answer them. Or if you have any video ideas, let me know. Um, did I do a video on the New Year shooters event? It's an awesome tradition that is still going on for hundreds of years in the local area. No, Mr. Huss, I did not. Um, that's there's some iffiness in that. I'm not sure. Um, it's not that I don't like the topic because I do. Um, but that's something that you and I are gonna have to talk privately about. In that regard. So that's something that we can probably discuss moving forward for next year, maybe. Uh, possibly. Possibly. That's a big if, but it's some possibility that we may do that next year. Not sure, but there's a big if to that, or a big question mark, as I should say. So we'll have to discuss that further at another time. But it's not off the table, though. So, with that being said, is there any other topics that you all would like to cover, or anything else that you all find important, or that you would like to cover to any extent? Let me know. I guess if I don't get anything for the next 5 to 10 minutes, I'll probably log off. I don't mind being on here as long as you all want. As long as you all are willing to I'm willing to do or stay on here as long as you all want, and for as long as you all are willing to ask questions. I'll stay on here as long as you all want. Or for as long as you all continue to ask questions, I'll stay on here and stuff. I'd be more than happy to do so. And yes, if you all have any merchandise, I know that was asked earlier, that if you all have some merchandise that you all think that I could sell, I'll definitely approach me about it, and it's up for consideration. On a serious note, I would definitely be willing to consider it. So it's definitely up in the air. So that being said, I'm just looking at some photos right now of one of my friends reenacting stuff that he does. Dave Taylor, he does a lot of good he does some reenacting and stuff. He does a British kit. I think that I just saw him in one of the photos I'm looking at right here. But anyways, yeah. So I mean, we have a lot planned for this coming year, and I would love to have anyone be a part of it that wants to be a part of it. I mean, I would love to have anyone be part of my video or my channels, or like my channel or any of my videos. If you want to be a part of it, I would love for you to do so. Just let me know if you have anything that's like any historic sites or any connections to a site, or if you're a demonstrator or a museum director or a curator or something, or a museum director or whatever. Please reach out to me. I'm more than interested in doing a video with you. free of charge. I'm not looking to make any money off of it. I simply just want to do a video. I consider this an opportunity for both parties, for myself and for you all, because it's free content to me, and you all get free advertising, as I like to call it. I'm not looking to make money off of anyone. Um, so make sure that you all reach out to me. Any demonstrators or historic sites or whatever. I'm not looking to make money off of you. I will do the videos for free. Strictly just the videos. And all that sorts. So that's what I'm wanting to do. Because I find that a lot of museums and historic sites or battlefields or whatever, or historic parks or whatever, I think that they're definitely underfunded and stuff. From what I've seen, or in other words, they're low on resources. So I find that it's a thing that would be a mutual thing, to where we can like a mutual benefit. So let me know. Would love to be able to address that with you all. I would definitely love to be able to do that with you all. Just let me know. So in other news, as far as what was another question that I was asked? I have it right here. Um, uh, but anyways, as I said, I mean, no big deal. I can just do another video on that. But anyways, if you all have any questions, just let me know. Would be more than happy to answer them. And for those that are still on here, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it's an easy way to keep track of the videos and get updates on videos that we post. I know that's something that you all like to do, is be able to get those updates. Would love to be able to keep you all in touch and up to date on things. So just let me know, and we'll go from there. So in addition to that, we'll get that going. Anyways, is there any more questions and related to the topic at hand? If not, I'm gonna probably log off if there's no more questions or comments or anything. I'll probably log off if there's not any more within the next minute or two. I guess, as they say, planes to catch and bills to pay. If there's more sitting around than there is talking or any kind of benefit, so just let me know and we'll go from there. Okay. Well, if there's any more questions or anything, just let me know within the next minute, and if not, I'll end the video. I don't want to keep anyone on here longer than what they would want to or need to be. And as I said, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Would love to have you around for as long as you're willing to be. And all that sorts. So just let me know and we'll go from there. Okay. Well, in other news, you all just kind of reach out to me with any questions. As I mentioned earlier, there's a link for the Facebook group below in the video description. So don't forget to check that out. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, Our Living History. It's a good way to kind of keep track and get updates on all of our videos. So that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and talk to you soon, and be safe.